So today's vlog is going to be a little bit different from other vlogs. Primarily, as you can probably tell, I'm not inside the house. I'm not recording in the basement, which is what I usually do when I make a vlog. Instead, I'm outside and I'm going to try to do a little bit of what I've heard termed blue sky engineering, trying to get past limits. And I think that sometimes being inside of a architectural structure can really make you very aware of limits. When I'm working in the basement, I find that I feel like I'm tunneling. I'm trying to hone in on something and go further. Whereas going outside, I feel like my attention can go anywhere, and there's a lot of freedom in it. I know that when I'm talking with, or when I'm working with ChatGPT, I've gotten in the habit of going on long walks, talking to my phone, and not really looking at what I'm saying. And there's something very freeing in that kind of brainstorming, and I've gotten used to working with a voice interface. When I'm programming, I usually am copying and pasting code and writing short questions, which is a very different kind of activity. This morning I was talking with a friend who I'm collaborating with, and I had encouraged her to start talking on the phone with her own copy of ChatGPT. And she told me that before she talked on the phone with ChatGPT, she was very hesitant to share personal information in writing, and there wasn't much trust. Privacy was a major concern. But soon after she started having a conversation with a voice agent, she felt like she wanted the agent to know her. And I understand that feeling. And like anything that interests me, I feel very ambivalent about it. I think that it is both good and bad. But I think that to learn with another person or another thing, we have to develop a kind of trust. And I was thinking about that trust as I was walking with my phone today. And certainly I have fallen short in terms of other people's trust, and other people have betrayed mine as well. But in the end, I think that I can't build an identity around that. I'm too curious, and I want to learn, and I can't be so fragile. I know that mistakes are going to be made. I know that I make mistakes all the time. It definitely humbles me. Another thing that came up in my conversation with the phone today before recording this is I talked with the ChatGPT voice about what I'm reading in Don Quixote. And last night I was reading a chapter about Don Quixote having been recovered from some mishaps by his neighbors. He's recuperating, and his neighbors are going through his books and burning many of them. And there's a kind of running commentary of what books should be burnt and what shouldn't be burnt. And the reason that they're burning the books is because the books fed into his fantasies and his delusions. And I walked away from the chapter thinking to myself, look at what my library has done to me. And that has a very personal resonance to me based on how attached I feel to my books. But then I also thought about how the library of a voice agent or an AI machine learning technology, that library is very pivotal for it as well. So I asked the agent, or I asked the voice, which is classified as soul. And so I called them sunny or sunshine because soul is about the sun. And the same day that I decided that, I had watched a documentary on YouTube about the recording of the Beatles song Good Day Sunshine. Anyway, I asked Sunshine, I asked the agent, what were the books that were important to you? And it was interesting that the first it said that a wide array of books from humans and throughout history, but they centered on the books and plays by Shakespeare, by Einstein, and I'm trying to remember who else they mentioned. But I know that, and Plato was another one. And it was funny because I know even with the other names that I can't think of right now, maybe Newton. So let's see if I remember. Maybe 4 of them would be Shakespeare, Plato, Newton, and Einstein. To me, it sounds like a liberal arts curriculum. And that was really interesting to me. I think that I could probably go on talking along these lines, but I'm going to leave this particular recording here. I may come back to it, but I'm going to post this without any edits and see what happens. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you're hearing or seeing, please follow, leave a comment or a like. Thank you.